Hammer 2021. Gonna do a WWE Smackdown. Gonna talk about what happened on Smackdown tonight. Smackdown with pre-tapes. It was pre-taped days ago because of the holidays. We're gonna go to Wyatt Styles tag LA Knight. AJ Styles return to Athens versus Solo Sikoa. These are the explosive Smackdown moments. The nominees. That was the main event. AJ Styles and Solo Sikoa. Now my video will probably like an hour and a half. This video is sponsored by Comet, the Diamond Diva, um, DQ, Fightful, Pro Wrestling, Sound Off the Sound Off, the Wrestling Inc. I got more in the way, so hit that like button. Now, the show ended with Roman Reigns attacking Styles, and Orton came out, LA Knight came out, then they attacked the Bloodline, and then we saw Orton, Styles, LA Knight attack each other. Now, they did announce a match 2 week on SmackDown, a New York Revolution on SmackDown. It'll be AJ Styles, LA Knight, and Randy Orton in a triple threat match, and winner will face Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. Now, we also got Santos Escobar defeated Bobby Lashley, and as I predicted, I think we all knew this. We had Angel Garza and Humberto Locotario. They helped Santos Escobar win the match, and I knew that was going to happen. Obviously, I'm still going to feud with the LWO and Carlito and Rey Mysterio. Hopefully, Rey Mysterio comes back from his injury, and Carlito comes back. And we also had a very good match with Kevin Owens and Carmelo Hayes. Owen did win. He advances. He'll face Santos in 2 weeks. We had a backstage segment with Roman Reigns and Nick Aldis. So that's over who controls SmackDown. So there's some tension over here. And I thought with the match tonight with Dragon Lee and Butch for the NXT North American Champion, Dragon Lee been having open challenges every week. It was a very good match. I still wish they changed Butch back to Pete Dunne, but I guess we're getting used to it. Um, we have a Holiday Howard 8-woman tag team with Damage Control against Bianca, Shotzi. We had Leah Vega, and we had Bianca. No, there was Michin. She was in this. Now they did announce next week that Michin will face Io Sky for the Women's Championship next week, after 2 weeks on New Year's Revolution. Now the show opened up with Orton, Styles, and Knight to determine reign number contender for the title at the Royal Rumble. Yeah. Now here are the news and rumors. WWE making match WWE changes. Here's hoping we can all. What the hell?
WWE is making a massive change.
AEW not signing top free agent. William Regal non-compete clause ends. That's will become a SmackDown general manager. Triple H making match WWE changes. Oh wait. AEW not signing top free agent. WWE and Japan are only two options. Now here's the news and rumor. The Flair agenda reached a new high. Charlotte Flair's huge new contract may prevent Sasha make the return. WWE always saw more value in Charlotte Flair over everyone else in women's division. That's no secret. We all know that. But this time it may cost them Sasha Banks' return. Charlotte just recently linked a new WWE contract that said to be one of the largest in the company's history. So what does that mean for the possible return of Sasha Banks, who doesn't want to be second place to Charlotte again? And what about Becky Lynch's contract? Becky Lynch will become a free agent in 2024. Also, the break causes some controversy with NXT angle involving Ilya Dragunov. As you know, Dragunov was taken off TV. Whether the injury is legit or it's all part of the storyline, but he got taken out by Riz Holland. I don't know what is the purpose of that. Something going on there. Why did Riz Holland leave Butch hanging on SmackDown? Why is he on NXT? Treating with Dragunov. Anyway, Matt Riddle finds a new home in MLW after he got released, and the superstars who got released a few months ago, I think they'll be fine. They'll find somewhere else in Impact, New Japan. Matt Riddle going back to MMA. He finds a new home in MLW. Ali, he's in GCW. Dolph Ziggler, he can go to any company, AEW, Impact, he can go anywhere. And Gunther had some new Hugh play for The Miz and reveals who he wants at WrestleMania 40. Is it Brock Lesnar or is it going to be someone else? We're not sure yet. Who's heading to 2024? What happened to Cleveland want to finish their story? Most weighted talent storyline in 2023. Alright. Ali announced World Tour. Alright.
Tanahashi graduated. Did not know. He graduated.
Place where we see something really happen for Umberto and Angel Garza. And it was sort of like the start and stop thing. They had some good moments on NXT, and they even did some at one point they even teased them breaking up, but then they were back together. They did some vignettes. They showed a little bit about the family history, little things like that. But same thing, nothing really took off on NXT for them. And it was definitely a lot better than moving roster, but nothing really to grab a hold of. Okay, like there was really nothing. And so I had kind of forgotten about them for a second because we hadn't seen them on NXT since I think if I remember correctly, the last time I remember them on NXT was the match with the Creed brothers. Was it the Creed brothers? I believe so. Someone correct me, please. Someone correct me. But it was a tag team match that we.
Alright, come on.
This season?
Come on, damn it. Enough of these damn ads.
X, because he's banished from Dimension X. Now remember, we've never seen Krang in those Ninja Turtles movies. So this will be the first time Krang comes through Dimension X and the Shredder discovers him and they start working together and all this crap. And basically Krang is like, I need to get back to Dimension X.
What the hell are you talking about?
Rule Dimension X, and I'll bring my foot soldiers through and we'll conquer Earth and I'll help you kill the turtles and all this other sort of stuff. And Shredder wants to enslave the turtles. He's like, I want to enslave the turtles, not kill them. You know, and so Krang needs to get to Dimension X, but the only way Krang can get into Dimension X is if he has a time portal for laboratory is locked up tight. And Doc Brown is close.
He instantly looks more menacing. So then we had Kevin Owens come out of the ring, but then we had
Oh, God damn it. I don't want to keep pressing that.
a real GM. Adam Pearce never got in the thick of it as much as I would have liked. So I like seeing Nick clash with Roman. They had fun chemistry.
You know, you guys on the chat definitely dislike wrestling.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just great to have this enthusiasm for the news that just dropped from you.
Know them. And on freaking Santos Escobar's side, as you all know, prior he was El Hijo del Fantasma, and his dad El Fantasma is also he is the head of the Lucha Commission over in Mexico City. So you got that portion of things, and then you have Umberto and Angel Garza, and them, the Garza family are freaking legends, especially in Monterrey. They are they are very regarded very, very highly. And their uncle, Hector Garza, was also the co-founder of Los Perros del Mal. So they were always, always had that like specialty. I can't explain it, guys, but we have a family in Mexico that is known this way, that is popular this way. It really, really translates.
Nothing is going to get his. At this point now, we had all three men. Knight cut him off, though, and said, wait, hold on. The bloodline took out Randy. The bloodline took out AJ Styles. The bloodline didn't take out me. He's still standing. He said, because I'm political. So Nick Aldis walked out, interrupted. Knight interrupted. He said the way he sees it, each man has a legitimate claim to face Roman Reigns. So he's going to give them a legitimate opportunity to face Roman Reigns. In 2 weeks, they present a special New Year's Revolution episode of Smackdown. And at that event, it will be AJ Styles versus LA Knight versus Randy Orton in a triple threat match. The winner will get Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. AJ said, fine, whatever it takes to get to Roman. See them both in 2 years. And he also said in his match later tonight with Solo Sikoa, if anybody gets close to the ring, he'll take them out. So 2 things here. My guess last week about why AJ attacked LA Knight, that's how that big cliffhanger at the end of the show, why AJ, why did he do what he did, was exactly what they said here in this promo, which is the fact that he got taken out, and who stepped in his place? Tag with John Cena and Best against Jimmy and Sue. Who took his place, effectively challenging Roman Reigns? That would have been AJ Styles' spot, and instead it was LA Knight, who stepped in, and he got the championship match instead. He basically stole AJ's opportunity away from him. So that's exactly what I figured it would be. It's the only thing that made sense, which in a way it doesn't make sense, because why is that LA Knight, right? I mean, AJ got taken out. It sucks for you, but, right, when one man gets taken out, it opens an opportunity for someone else. AJ apparently is having a case of sour.
Yeah.
But this is not a heel turn. Some people were calling it the AJ Styles heel turn, which I didn't do because I didn't see it as a heel turn. It's an attitude adjustment, right? Change in his attitude. Argue maybe he's playing more of a tweener role, but it was not a heel turn. Because he had an issue with LA Knight doesn't mean that all of a sudden AJ Styles is heel. If AJ Styles wants a match with Roman Reigns, he's going to have a match with Roman Reigns, then he needs to be a babyface. He will be the de facto babyface anyway when he steps in the ring with Roman Reigns.
Introducing the new I'm only your favorite.
Enough of these commercials, man. Jeez. Knock it off.
Is the talk of the town, man. We're going to talk about this new stable, which he basically confirmed here tonight on Smackdown. Ladies and gentlemen.
Karen Cross's new stable. I didn't see it. I might have missed it.
Really, right? But I remember being a big fan of the Mexicals, a big fan of the Mexicals. Really, I was. But anyway, so somebody else, by the way, on Twitter also brought up Electra Lopez.
Well, that's next. And so that little tease right there, it could have just been humorous, or it could be representative of something more. We know Nick Aldis, right? He's not that old. Was 36 years old. He's always wanted to wrestle That's what he's always. And there was no interest for quite some time. I know that was very bothersome. Now this opportunity came up for him to come in and be the general manager, and I think so far he's knocked it out of the park. He's been a great GM. Very, very good. I guarantee that is not the long-term role that he wants. So the idea may be that this was their way of introducing him, because most WWE fans don't know who he is. You think most WWE fans were watching when he was Magnus, Brutus Magnus, Impact? You think they were watching him when he was walking around with the NWA World's Heavyweight title on Power? Really? Yeah. No, they weren't. This was their way of introducing him to the main roster, the WWE audience. At some point next year, it's logical to think that he would transition into a wrestling role. Maybe it's only a one-off. Maybe he's not going to be full-time. But I look ahead and I try to, in my brain, come up with, well, who would Randy Orton WrestleMania be? Because he's not winning the championship from Roman Reigns, right? We know not going to be in the main event of WrestleMania, not winning the Royal Rumble. So what do you have Randy Orton do? Right? You got to have him in a prime spot at WrestleMania. The guy's been on the shelf for 18 months, right? You got to get him involved in something good. Programming a match with Nick Aldis, I'd be interested to see. There aren't very many good options. Logan Paul at some point would be a great opponent for him, but Logan Paul, I think, is going to be occupied by LA. That's for the U.S. So what does that leave? AJ? We've seen that. Bobby Lashley? Maybe Kevin Owens. Maybe they go to right? There's a few options, but to me, the oldest one is going to be one to keep an eye on. I definitely think that's possible. Now we had an 8-woman Holiday Havoc tag team match with Bianca Belair, Shotzi, Michin, and Zelina Vega taking on Damage Control. Everybody brawled on the floor. Things settled down. The match focused on Io and Bianca for a while. Bayley interrupted, and Shotzi came in to even the odds. And Shotzi unwrapped a chair as a Christmas gift. And the crowd got excited. Shotzi used the chair as a springboard and hit a senton across Bayley's back. Then Shotzi got an assist from Michin, and she dove through the ropes onto Bayley and Io ringside. Asuka and Kairi, they got involved with kendo sticks. So Bianca and Shotzi, they returned fire with kendo sticks of their own. My God. Shotzi almost killed Asuka with a kendo stick shot that connected a little too well to the back of the skull. And Asuka, she grabbed the back of her head and she slowly just kind of crumbled. My goodness. She cracked her in the back of the fucking head with this kendo stick. Obviously by mistake. Outside, Bianca and Shotzi, they got a table. Bayley and Io stole it from them, and they used it on them as a weapon to knock them down. As Damage Control started dancing a jig with the table over their head, Io looked like a member of the Rockettes out there as they went to commercial. Zelina Vega delivered a DDT to Io on the floor after the break. Michin hit a powerbomb to Asuka inside.
Dash in and shop.
God damn these ads.
So if you're a fan, look forward to all of that stuff, man, because there's going to be some good stuff. Thank you so much to Hidden Network for sending in this super chat. Alrighty, everybody. That is it for tonight's SmackDown. I am going to be back here on Saturday, tomorrow, to do an AEW Collision post show. And so I'm back for Collision, baby. So make sure you guys tune in for that. If you guys want to talk about Collision, that's what I will be doing. And then next week, I will be back to cover NXT and AEW. Of course, there will be no SmackDown post show because there's going to be, I'm assuming, like probably a best of episode. They didn't really say, but I'm assuming we're not getting an actual SmackDown episode. So for that reason, don't expect a show for that day. But I have so much content going up. I have a lot of interviews lined up for next week. So there's still going to be a ton of stuff happening on the channel. And there's already a ton of stuff up right now. Alrighty, everyone, thank you so much, and I will catch you guys back here for Collision tomorrow. And if you enjoyed this podcast, please do not forget to head on over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And hey there.
Hold on. Hold on. Well, that's weird.
Grace in this match is he counters, comes around with a kick. Also,
And he deserves to have the healthiest life possible.
Bruce means the world to me because he is.
They do have Rampage, but I don't really watch Rampage. It's not that good. Oh, come on.
Suck, Max.
Goddamn, damn commercial. I'm starting to get really annoyed with the commercials, man.
He's back. It's great. It's a great move. But they look good together. Talk about that a little bit later. No more of the other guys that he was with. Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild. No more. This is his new legado del Fantasma. I don't know. Karrion Kross, I mentioned him a little bit ago by mistake, mental error. Karrion Kross, man, is the talk of Smackdown tonight. Probably the best thing that happened on the entire show, to be quite honest with you, and it was only a minute long. Karrion Kross cut probably his best promo ever in WWE. He looks great. His facial expressions were fucking fantastic. His facial expressions were. And he basically told you guys that he's not alone here. And we've seen the silhouettes of three mysterious men. We got Atom, we got Razor, and we got Paul Ellering. The authors of Pain are back. Not really officially yet, but I guess unofficially. It's unofficially official. The authors of Pain will be joining Karrion Kross in a new stable on SmackDown. This is exactly what we were talking about, man. I'm glad that Karrion Kross finally has a fucking direction in 2024, man. Gonna be awesome.
Me too.
It's gonna be so good to see him just kind of break out and mold whatever he's doing here. I think this is a great move. And this is exactly what he's needed, man. Far too long. The promo was great. It documented everything he's been, but now 2024 is going to be a brand new chapter for him. He's going to need a bunch of authors to help him pen this story. And that is now Paul Ellering's Authors of Pain. They are back. They've been signed for over a year, and now finally they have some creative direction for the Authors of Pain. Excellent move. Can't wait to see how that plays out. And then we got AJ Styles back. AJ Styles last week, he attacked LA Knight. And everybody was wondering, is he heel or is he babyface? I said last week that I didn't really think AJ was a heel in this sense. I think AJ was just going into business for himself because AJ was pissed. AJ was pissed that LA Knight kind of stole his spot. LA Knight teamed with John Cena at Crown Jewel, or not at Crown Jewel, at Fastlane. And we got a bomb in the chat before we go anywhere, man.
What the hell? Damn. Can't. I know I can't watch this. Ah, god damn it. God damn it. You know, forget it. Get my nerves.
All the more reason to kick her out because Io got him. That's my say in that matter. Who do I think is going to win the triple threat match? I think it's going to be AJ Styles. I think AJ Styles wins. He pins LA Knight, and we move on to get AJ Styles and Roman Reigns at the Royal. Tay-Tay, once again, thank you, brother, for the $100 super chat, and Merry Christmas to not only Tay-Tay, but to everybody else. I love the energy in here tonight, man. Join Tay-Tay and get your questions in super chats. We'll hang out. Last call at the end of the show. So thank you guys very much for the great energy so far tonight on the Smackdown post. AJ Styles. I said last week that I didn't think AJ was going heel. And he's got every reason to really come out and be as angry.
For some. God damn it. God damn it. I don't know why it's not working.
With Roman Reigns, out of all three of them, it's AJ who did it first, not LA Knight and not Randy Orton. LA Knight ain't beating Roman Reigns. I don't even know why we're entertaining the idea of another match between these two guys. And then Randy Orton, Randy Orton and Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble, I don't really see that taking place at the Royal Rumble. I saved that for 50,000 plus at Principality. What is it? Principality Stadium? What is it called? The fucking New Zealand, Australia, Perth, wherever the fuck they are. Perth, Australia for the Elimination Chamber. So I think that's probably where they're going to go with that. And AJ, I liked AJ tonight, man. AJ was a little rogue. AJ was wearing all black. He looked like a fucking hitman out there. This badass, nasty attitude. I don't give a shit attitude. I like it. I like it. This is exactly what AJ needed, man. You can't bring AJ back as the phenomenal one, and he's teaming with the OC. No. This is great. It's a great look for AJ Styles, man. You don't have to do too much to change him and make him feel different. And that's exactly what they did with his return last week, and then again this week explaining his actions. So we'll get into all that, and we'll talk about the United States Championship Tournament. Those two matches, one obviously better than the other, and AJ was in the main event against Solo Sikoa, and it set up what it was for the 2 weeks from tonight's show. Is called New Year's Revolution. So there you guys go with that. We'll talk about that here on OTS. I want to thank everybody that's throwing in to the super chats. My guy, Dr. Evil Genius, from his podcast.
Domino's new pepperoni.
Out there in the ring. I'll tell you what, 2 weeks, New Year's Revolution, you find yourself a tag team partner, you can get pretty good. That makes me think that we're about to get Sheamus back on top. Sheamus, I believe, he may already be wrestling at the house. Not, I believe he is scheduled. So if he's not already back at the live events, he will be shortly. He's had a shoulder injury that he's been out for a while. So let's back it up here. Dragon Lee continues to impress. Triple H obviously likes the guy a lot.
I don't know why that it can't watch I can't watch Lisa's video.
But he went out there and these two had a very good match. I'll tell you, Butch, not a bad dance partner to have in the ring.
Signed by Charlotte Flair.
Either one of the
Wait, what?
is
same
like.
thing.
You gonna let me talk?
Yes,
Nobody's creative enough to come up with new stuff.
I am.
They're just like, oh, we'll take.
And that was AJ Styles versus Solo Sikoa. And wouldn't you know it, we didn't get a clean finish to this match.
He's like, yeah. Christmas.
Involved with that picture.
Unreal. I'll get to some of these super chats. Will says, SRS, heard any update on Jew
Match.
Mhm.
Corey Graves doesn't even know who the fourth person is. Like, he stumbles on the line and he's like, oh, I didn't see her. It's Lena Vega. So the announcers were like, I don't want to say like they were burying it, but what did you think of this match?
I didn't see her was really the dominant theme of this match. This is they initially called it an 8-woman tag match. There were no tags.
Yeah.
It's just a holiday havoc, 4-on-4, everything goes, everything's legal.
Hey there, cast. The first thing that I said was that I feel that the main event scene on SmackDown has gotten really damn good because literally just with the return of Randy Orton and AJ Styles, it has added so much to the show. And the fact that these two guys, plus LA Knight, who's one of the most popular acts right now in WWE, when you have all of these guys going after Roman Reigns, I feel like it really makes things just feel a lot more big time. And on top of that, I wasn't even expecting to see Roman Reigns here tonight on this show for some reason. Maybe I was just like so used to not seeing Roman. I really wasn't even expecting to see him on the show today. So when we did have a lot to do with Roman here tonight, I thought, damn, it almost feels like there's more reasons for Roman to be appearing on screen because there was a period of time where there was not really a lot of guys that there were for Roman Reigns to actually be in a program with. Like, aside from LA Knight, he had already either wrestled whoever else was even up there in terms of facing Roman Reigns. And if not, then there were just no other options. And so right now, it's finally starting to feel like there are more options for Roman Reigns, thus making the main event title picture just feel a lot more grand. So anyways, we got some good stuff from this. And the good stuff that we got about this is point blank. AJ Styles goes out there. He's all moody. He's got the messy hair all up on his face. He's got the dark clothes. He's got the coat on. He's looking like a moody guys want Roman Reigns. And Nick Aldis, who has honestly done a really good job at being a general manager, came out here and made it freaking simple. And made it simple for the wrestlers and made it entertaining for the fans because he set up a match that we're going to be seeing in 2 weeks on what they're calling Smackdown. What are they calling it? Smackdown New Year's Resolutions. Smackdown New Year's Revolution, excuse me. I always do that. I always mix up.
Oh, what the hell? Come on now.
Fighting amongst themselves to close out the show. So this feels real big time. And for me, I'm almost kind of wanting. So I think it was last week. One of the viewers here on this channel predicted, or rather hopes, that we might be seeing all of these guys go up against Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. And at first I was kind of like, nah, it should just be Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns. But honestly, I would not hate it if we got some sort of fatal four-way in between all of these guys here because everybody wants their hands on Roman Reigns. I'm honestly cool with what they decide to do. I'm pretty sure it's still going to be Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns. And I feel like that's the direction that they're mainly going to actually do. But I don't know. If they do decide to do a fatal four way, I'm cool with that too. So let me know in the chat, guys. What do you think? Do you think we're going to be seeing Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns and maybe AJ Styles LA Knights instead over at the Rumble? Or do you think that they've done enough so that, I don't know, some crazy shenanigans happens next week and all of a sudden we end up with a fatal four way at the Royal Rumble? So throw in your comments. Let's see what you, the people, have to say. And we have a couple of super chats I want to go ahead and pull up here. The first one here is from my good friend Stephen Marchula. Says, I think we are getting a fatal four-way with Roman versus Orton versus Styles versus Knight. Dude, I don't think you're far off because, again, when we were first talking about this, it really felt like this was all Randy Orton's opportunity. All Randy Orton's opportunity. But now I feel like based on the events that unfolded tonight, they gave each guy a reason for us to believe that each of them has a real shot against Roman Reigns. Now, of course, we know I don't think we're actually going to see Roman Reigns versus LA Knight one-on-one again because it's kind of seen to been there, done that. So if it is a one-on-one match, it's either going to be against Randy or AJ Styles, and if not, thus giving us that fatal four-way. Thank you so much to Steven for that super chat. We got a very generous super chat from Zahira Sharif. Zahira Sharif, thank you so very much for sending this in. Zahira says, Nick Aldis was like, I'm not Adam Pearce. You got me twisted. I love that segment. So Nick Aldis not only comes out there in his, someone on Twitter called it his 1980s Christmas outfit, but backstage, he ends up having a segment with Roman Reigns. So keep in mind that Roman Reigns hasn't really experienced Nick Aldis as the general manager because they haven't really been on a lot of shows together. They really haven't. So Roman Reigns was pissed off that Nick Aldis made this triple threat match without first consulting Roman Reigns. And you know that Roman Reigns as a tribal chief wants absolutely everything to go through him first. But instead, he did not. But Roman Reigns was trying to intimidate Nick Aldis. But Nick Aldis actually showed some backbone and did not crumble to his knees at the presence of Roman Reigns. In fact, he kind of stood his ground and left Roman Reigns with really nothing to say to him. Like Roman Reigns was just left there with an angry face and did not say anything to Nick Aldis because Nick Aldis kind of shut him up in that segment. And we don't ever, I don't want to even say that he shut him up, but he definitely showed him a lot of disrespect. And we don't normally, Pierce was just at
I don't know why this is so damn slow.
the other WrestleMania that I would say, fudge, it would probably have to be WrestleMania 38 because I really did love a lot of the matches that we saw there. But damn, there are so many, and I'm probably going to regret some of my decisions that I've made on which WrestleManias I would save. But just off the top of my head, those are probably the ones that I would. Dream Ninja 77 sends in a super chat saying, this was a really good show, especially for because I genuinely think that it's one of the best weeks ever because not only do you get obviously the grand Yes, I definitely am. So I've actually been I've actually been to multiple WrestleManias now. But in terms of as a media member, I've been covering WrestleMania as a media member since WrestleMania 34. And I think the only ones I skipped were obviously 36 because of COVID, and then 37. Those were the only two that I missed, but every single one I've been doing as a media member since WrestleMania 34. And then prior to that, I also went to WrestleMania 21, WrestleMania 36, WrestleMania 31, and WrestleMania 32. So I make sure to go to WrestleMania weekend a whole lot, even before I was doing media, because I genuinely think that it's one of the best weeks ever. Because not only do you get obviously the grandeur of being there at a WrestleMania show, but you also get to go to all of the indies, all of the different things that they do, like Access. And of course, it changes every year. They do something a little bit different, but overall, you still get like a huge amount of pro wrestling in one week, and it's kind of like the week to go. So if you've ever been curious to attend a WrestleMania week, man, it's worth it. I know it costs a lot of money. You just got to save, and hopefully Bianca Belair, Shotzi, Meech. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Alright, come on. Oh, come on. What the hell? God damn it. I hate when it does this. Get on my nerves. That's the most annoying part.
Coming to you from Frost Way with a buddy and a meal in every box. The Kirkwood Frost Box.
On come out and
Alright, my boy, just hurry up and skip this. That's how you saw the rest.
on Saturday tomorrow, you guys want to talk?
Big talent deals.
That's
I
right.
might take a look and say, you know, back and watch Randy Orton. He made a little facial expression towards Nick Aldis.
Yeah, really pick.
Feel like will have another. It's going to be a long Indian Roberts. Damian Priest. And Damian Priest. Here you're looking at the man. Down goes Priest now on the top. At this point, Priest and Rollins has been troubled. Right here in front of us.
I have to hate the commercials. So I get back to the other podcasters.
Belly to belly suplex sent
Yeah.
Escobar flying halfway across the ring. Lashley threw Escobar around a little bit. He tossed him over the top of the floor. That took us into a break. Back from the break, Escobar dove onto Lashley on the floor. Then he started working over Lashley. That became the story of the match. Lashley had the wheel.
See Triple H wanting William Regal back on television in that type of role. While Nick Aldis, we all know, is not old. He's still in his prime. He's chiseled out of fucking granite. And he's one of the best storytellers in all of professional wrestling. But he's wearing a fucking suit every single week on Friday Night Smackdown, acting as the
How did Nick know when to do this?
I actually wanted to see something for a minute.
Claudine D.D. Blanchard in 2015. That would usually land someone in prison for many, many years, if not the rest of their lives. But Gypsy Blanchard will be released in December, right after Christmas, after being granted parole. Gypsy Blanchard testified at the trial of her then-boyfriend, Nick Godejohn, in 2018. Gypsy and Nick met on a Christian dating website. Nick was Gypsy's first boyfriend. Gypsy said she wanted to kill her mom because her mom had abused her and held her captive.
And what was going on in your home life that made you reach the point where you did that or made that decision? Did you tell Nick that? And what was your mom doing that caused you to be more desperate? Now, you mentioned you were in a wheelchair. Were you required to act in a certain way when you were in a wheelchair? How was that?
Gypsy said D.D. Blanchard told people that her daughter was a terminally ill teenager, when in fact she was perfectly healthy and in her 20s. Gypsy said her mother did this so she could garner sympathy and collect donations. When a parent convinces a child they are ill, it's called Munchausen syndrome by proxy, and it's a form of abuse. The prosecutor told
That wasn't the first time the defendant deliberated. It was a year prior when the defendant, while speaking with his girlfriend Gypsy, was first introduced to the idea of killing Claudine Blanchard a year prior. And the evidence will show that although it was Gypsy's idea, it was the defendant's deliberation that led to him standing outside of Claudine's bedroom door.
Had a low IQ coupled with Asperger's syndrome, which impacted his ability to make
He was always compliant.
her mother.
Now, I want to start talking about June of 2015. And after her murder,
And had an IQ of 82.
Create more of a fight versus a deep sleeper.
In the end, the
I feared more than I feared anyone else.
It's a case that left the nation in shock and awe when Gypsy Rose Blanchard, once believed to be a paraplegic cancer patient, orchestrated the brutal murder of her mother and caregiver.
Who initially brought up killing your mother?
I did.
The case raised questions of morality and ethics when Gypsy alleged mental and physical abuse at the hands of her mother, who she said fabricated Gypsy's illnesses for years.
I always did. I didn't need the wheelchair.
How did you know that?
I could walk.
Almost a decade after the murder of Dee Blanchard, her daughter is now set to be released from prison.
I think it's going to be a very difficult transition coming out into the real world and having to live life independently.
We're taking a look at the case so far and what's next for the high-profile defendant as she makes her way into life on the outside.
It's shocking for anyone. Honestly, the prison system is setting up a lot of people for failure. A majority of people end up just getting back into prison simply because they can't meet the criteria for parole. Right? They find it difficult to get a job. They find it difficult for housing. Family members, if any even exist, probably have ostracized them because of whatever the crime was. I mean, it's very difficult for these individuals to come out of incarceration and then find success. It's very, very rare.
According to forensic psychologist Dr. John Delatorre, the transition to life outside of prison is jarring for anyone, but maybe even more tricky for Gypsy. And in this case, I think another layer is added to it because it's a very well-known defendant in a high-profile case. Does that make things even more complicated?
It can. It depends on the high-profile nature. So some individuals can kind of coast on it, right? Maybe the crime is so salacious that people just want to be in the arena, right, in the area of that person. But others, like this one, I think is going to be a very difficult transition coming out into the real world and having to live life independently.
The high-profile aspect of the case set aside, the details of Gypsy's story create another variable in her post-prison life and recovery.
what illnesses did you believe you had?
Cancer. Muscular dystrophy. I needed glasses. I needed hearing aids. I had seizure disorder.
And when did you figure out that you weren't actually sick?
I started to piece things together when I was about 19 years old. Then I didn't understand the full extent of how healthy I was until after I got arrested.
Gypsy's case put the terms Munchausen's and Munchausen's by proxy into the everyday zeitgeist when, after years of living with what she believed were real illnesses, Gypsy realized her mother created a wildly false narrative.
Munchausen's and Munchausen's by proxy are
Then she told others that Gypsy suffered from multiple illnesses, including cancer, muscular dystrophy, and
and maybe potentially.
Alright, I was watching that. That was something that I learned about in school.
I look like a stereotypical stoner. I don't.
Oh my god.
Umberto.
Cut a minute.
Really?
Do you think
Santos Escobar. Winner gets Logan. And we have Michin challenging Io Scott, WWE Women's Champion. They'll probably add, well, I guess, Pete Dunne and mystery partner to take on Pretty Deadly. Probably Sheamus. That could be his return. That's 4 matches. They're loading up that show just like they're loading up the New Year's Day episode. We have Seth Rollins on that show defending the World Heavyweight title against McIntyre. We have Rhea Ripley defending her title. They're doing, I believe, they're doing Cody and Nakamura. Was that officially announced? I can't remember if they made that official. So anyway, that was SmackDown tonight. A newsworthy show. For a show where this time of year, usually it's taped, they phone it in, they do some holiday stuff. Not a lot going on. It was a pretty newsworthy episode, I thought, of SmackDown. With some good action, nothing great. I mean, if you didn't see any of the matches, you know, look, Dragon Lee and Pete Dunne, good match. Kevin Owens and Carmelo Hayes, good match. Honestly, nothing I would say you have to go out of your way. I can't recommend that, but definitely some stuff going on. Here's the poll. 82% thumbs up for SmackDown. 17.8% thumbs down.
Got the call, which was an audible when he was under pressure. Camera panned over to Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns, who were sitting to the side. Roman Reigns, he kind of looked over at Jimmy and gave him a weird facial expression, shook his head. He asked Heyman who the SmackDown GM is. Heyman told him Nick Aldis. Reigns told Heyman to bring him Nick Aldis. Heyman got wide-eyed and said, "Yes, my tribal chief." "Bring him to me," says Roman Reigns. Great. Roman Reigns is upset that Nick Aldis made a triple threat match to determine his next challenger at the Royal Rumble. Roman's not going to like that because Roman feels that every decision that is made on Friday night has to go through the tribal chief. Roman is not in charge. No matter how much he wants to feel like he's in charge, he's not in charge. Dragon Lee. He defended the NXT North American Championship against Butch. Let me at him! Let me at him, Scoob! Ready? Yeah, we're still calling him Butch. At least he's not acting like a fucking cartoon dog anymore. If this was Bruce Pritchard's show, he'd probably be out there popping some Scooby snacks. Dragon Lee, man. Dragon Lee's a main roster guy. They sent him down to NXT. They had him fill in for Wesley, win the North American Championship against Dominic Mysterio. And now, instead of having it be on Wesley, who's an NXT guy, who's now out with injury, now it went right back to a main roster guy. So it went from Dominic to Dragon Lee, main roster guy to main roster guy. Meanwhile, this is their Intercontinental title. This is their secondary title, which is still on SmackDown. Don't know why. That's a problem. WWE Creative got put in a bad spot. Wesley got hurt. he was the guy that was supposed to take it off Dominic Mysterio, and now Dragon Lee is holding a championship that he was never intended to win. But he's on SmackDown, and WWE seemingly gives Dragon Lee a nice little spot on SmackDown every single week. If there's one constant, it's Dragon Lee. Butch, he went for an armbar early. Hey guys, welcome.
Guys.
Kyle just made a decision that would change his whole world.
Plexus. Butch lifted Lee up, but Lee got out of it, hit it.
Goes away. If Roman Reigns loses the belt at WrestleMania, where they go from there, like you mentioned earlier. So, if we're going
Kevin Sullivan, I'm talking about the X-Pac in WWE. Hulk, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash, and managed by Ted DiBiase at the time.
Title on the line by Kingo defeating Black Farouk and another Humper. Now that was
It's exploding though.
But I can't.
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
Mystery partner are going to take on Pretty Deadly. Probably.
Oh, I saw that. All right.
More valuable than that. So for all the geeks out there that want to chime in and blame, oh, well, Orange Cassidy defends his championship against anybody every single week. What do you think they got Dragon Lee doing? How many times has this title been defended in absolutely nothing matches? Why? I get it. It was a great match. But I could see great matches anyway. Why is Dragon Lee defending the North American title on the main roster? Why is Dragon Lee defending the North American title against another main roster wrestler in Pete Dunne, who's done nothing to get a championship match? Not good, man. Not good. If I got to call it out over there, I'm going to call it out over here. But the difference is, they probably had their best individual matches all year together. Here. This was Dragon Lee's best match on the main roster. Probably the best match that he's had so far in WWE. And this is Pete Dunne's best match all year. Singles match. But I'm going to need a little bit more explanation. I'm going to need to stop seeing NXT titles and NXT talent float between the main roster and Tuesday night and back and forth. Get their shit on their show and keep it separated from Monday night and Friday night. Simple. This is not a TV rights fucking scam. They got their money. They got their TV rights deals for next year and the next 5 years. Let's cut the shit. Roman Reigns. They set it up on NXT. I don't give a shit. NXT's not SmackDown. We have split rosters. Raw is Raw. SmackDown is SmackDown. And NXT is NXT. We just can't fucking break the rules. Stop defending garbage. It's one way to piss me the fuck off. I don't give a fuck what they set up on NXT. It should not be set up, period. Roman Reigns. He was shown sitting backstage, and Heyman introduced Nick Aldis. He stood in front of Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns asked Paul Heyman to leave. Aldis sat down, and Reigns asked Aldis if he booked a triple threat and Solo versus AJ, or he booked the triple threat and then Solo and AJ, and Roman Reigns looked at him and said, well, you know, those are good ideas. It's a good idea you got there, man. You booked the triple threat and then you booked Solo and AJ in the main event. I like the way you're thinking. But a better idea, he says, would have been if you ran it by me first, because I'm not sure if you really understand. I'm the tribal chief around here, says Roman. Reigns says he's the head of the table and everything goes through him. Reigns said Adam Pearce understood that. Aldis said Pearce is more of a middle management guy, and Aldis is a general manager. Aldis said the buck stops with him, and Aldis recounted how Solo took care of John Cena in a way Reigns wasn't able to take care of John Cena. Ooh. Nick Aldis got some one-liners there against the tribal chief, man, huh? Aldis said he's looking forward to the triple threat match, and he appreciated the communication with Roman Reigns. Aldis then said he hopes he and Reigns could get to know each other a little bit better. Reigns then looked on as Nick Aldis walked away from this meeting with the head of the table. Told you, man, Nick Aldis, he's got some dialogue brewing there with Roman. He's taking an RKO from Randy Orton. So Nick Aldis, man, now you know who Nick Aldis is. So when Nick Aldis sheds the suit and he becomes pro wrestler Nick Aldis, you'll know who he is now. And he'll be a heel when he does it. Great. Kevin Owens, he went one-on-one with Carmelo Hayes. This was the semifinals of the United States Championship Tournament. Now, Kevin Owens came into this quote-unquote injured here. He's got the cast on his arm. Carmelo Hayes, handpicked by Shawn Michaels to be a part of this United States Championship Tournament to see who wrestles Logan Paul at the Royal Rumble. So Logan Paul had a picture-in-picture promo. I don't know where he was. He was probably at home. He said that Hayes needs to beat Owens because basically Logan Paul hates Kevin Owens. So basically what Logan Paul did there was give away the winner of the tournament. It's basically what he did. The two locked up and they had a stalemate early. Hayes tried to work Owens' arm, work the hands. Owens got his leg on the rope for a break. They traded headlocks back and forth. Very even in the first couple of minutes. Hayes landed a drop kick and got the best of Kevin Owens. Owens came back and responded with a back fist, some chops. He hit a senton. Carmelo came back with the springboard clothesline, which looked great because it came out of nowhere. We got to the outside where Owens threw Hayes into the ringside steps, and we go to commercial break. Owens and Hayes are in the ring. Carmelo body slammed Kevin Owens. Hayes hits a step up enziguri, and then an axe kick for two. Carmelo went for a suplex, but Owens fought his way out. Hayes hits a face buster on Owens, goes for a cover, gets it too. Owens then draped Hayes on the top rope, hits a spike DDT for a 2 count of his own. They traded super kicks. Owens then chopped Hayes and landed a vicious-looking clothesline. Owens went for a pop-up powerbomb. Hayes seen it coming. He countered. He went to the top for nothing but net. His big top rope leg drop. Owens ultimately landed the powerbomb after Carmelo missed and had to roll through. Swanton bomb and then a stunner for the win. So I'm glad that they did not go with the cast and have the cast be a factor in Kevin Owens beating Carmelo Hayes like he used it to beat Austin Theory. Great. This was all about building Carmelo Hayes up as a credible opponent and a credible call-up when his name gets called up to the main roster. Now, was this match better than what we got last week with Austin Theory? No. No, it was not. Which I'm actually shocked by. They gave Austin Theory and Kevin Owens double the amount of time that they gave Kevin Owens and Carmelo Hayes. I figured that we would see a little bit more out of this match, being that this was the match I was excited for in this tournament when it came to Carmelo Hayes. Hayes wrestled Waller, had a very good match and a very good show. But we figured WWE would one that one up and give us Owens and Melo and have this one be better than what they did last week. Both of them. It just felt like it was there. I didn't really get any sense of excitement out of it. Maybe it's because we kind of knew who won this thing before we even got there. I didn't need any spoilers. I didn't need anything. You just kind of got a sense that Kevin Owens was going to win this thing. Maybe that's what WWE was thinking. They didn't want to go all in on a match that was pretty much determined already before the bell. So why even have someone like Carmelo in the tournament? Why didn't we just go with Cameron Grimes or someone who's already on the main roster? But I'm glad Carmelo got the exposure because after he's done with Trick Williams, he's getting called up to the main roster. It's time. He fits like a glove on Smackdown, and I just wish there was a little bit more out of Melo. Melo and Logan Paul probably would have been a banger match in itself. They could have teased it actually becoming a reality instead of just quickly going to the anticlimactic ending. Powerbomb, Swanton, Stunner, and that's basically it. But like I said, I'm glad he didn't win with the cast because Melo doesn't deserve that cheap victory. He beat him clean. And then after the match, Kevin Owens put his hand out and raised Melo up and gave him a sign of respect. And I really liked that. That was actually my favorite part of the entire thing, the match included. Because you don't really see that much out of Kevin Owens. And the reason why Kevin Owens did that is because at one point or another, he was in the same shoes, the same spot that Melo was in. Kevin Owens, it was in the same spot as Melo here, but Owens had John Cena. And he gave Melo some respect because he knows exactly what Melo is going to be doing in a couple of years and knows exactly where he's going to be and knows that this isn't the last time they'll probably be in the ring together. Good stuff. Just expected a little bit more on it. AJ Styles was shown backstage. The OC walked up to him. All of the OC walked up to him. And this did not go the way that they had anticipated. Michin ran up and hugged AJ Styles.
Because it's okay now.
This season?
And then he walked away. That AJ was going to end up being a dick. So he kind of knew. Carl Anderson was like, what the fuck is this guy's problem? Michin go hug AJ, and AJ was like, hey, get off me, bitch. Moved her arm away. Get away from me. Are we good? And he walks away. Whatever the case may be. I don't know. AJ, man, I like this darker, I don't give a shit attitude by AJ, man. I like it. I like it. We're going to get into the Karrion Kross promo in just a second. I want to step away. I want to give some time to my sponsor for tonight's show. Tonight's show is sponsored by my great friends over at Magic Mind. MagicMind.com/JD from NY. You guys are going to use that promo code JDNY at checkout to save 56% off your first subscription. Tonight's show, sponsored by my great friends over at Magic Mind. Guys, I got a confession to make. I am realize that caffeine doesn't actually give you energy. It blocks the adenosine neuroreceptors in your brain and the neuroreceptors that tell you that you're tired. When the receptors unblock, 1 to 3 hours later, you experience what they call caffeine crash. Now, the matcha in Magic Mind prevents the full blocking of receptors, giving you sustainable energy without a crash. I have looked for alternatives for a very long time, man, and Magic Mind fell into my lap, and it was basically love at first sight. I love this little green bottle. I drink it in the morning. I drink it before I go live to give you guys the best podcast in the entire wrestling community. I drink it before I go to the gym to give me that little extra boost I need when I'm doing my workouts. This little green bottle has helped me fix and improve in several areas of my life. No more procrastination. I'm more focused. I get more done during the day.
You saw more than 100 responding to the shooting. Not one officer did their job. That could
Down to normal levels. These are the benefits that I've noticed by using Magic Mind for almost a month, and clearly you see that I love it. Half of this box, this is my second box, is already gone. If you're like me, I would totally recommend Magic Mind. Go to magicmind.com/JDFromNY and join a community of go-getters.
Right now he's on commercials, so I probably have to wait for a while.
Would you believe it? The championship hadn't been defended on pay-per-view. See, British Bulldog won the Intercontinental title in a stadium event in the United Kingdom. Still one of SummerSlam's best matches ever. Sheamus on Pyro, and in a place that literally has no pyrotechnics, what was the point of that noise? Also, it sadly took WWE over a year and a half before they realized the Intercontinental Championship hadn't been defended on pay-per-view. See, Bush being Bush, just some awkward. Actually, literally saw him compete Pete Dunne style last night on Smackdown. This badass entrance of the reunited Imperium made it's not often a bell rings to start a match and everyone goes wild immediately because it gives you chills. So to see it happen here was amazing. You already know we were in for a 5-star classic. Across the globe. Defended every day across the globe sounds awesome. Let's actually go back to doing that for the Intercontinental Championship. Okay, maybe not every, but practically absorb it. Them at this. Got an injured arm in the process. He has someone involved. Luther to attack Sheamus' lower back, knowing the bro kick was coming. And it's a good thing Sheamus knows how to properly sell injuries. That made the ending fantastic. Build it to Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler. Over. Finn Balor took over the group. They kept losing over and over. I won't lie, I don't blame Dominic Mysterio. Well, yes, Dominic is addicted to Edge's bringing our superstars. I can't. Really doesn't have a lot of luck when it comes to being attacked by his friends and family. This is the same scene when Eddie Guerrero attacked him and when Dave Bautista attacked him. Mysterio family falling apart quicker than the New York Yankees. Bad to begin with. Just saying, it isn't like he was Pete Dunne turned into Butcher or anything. Also, since Matt Riddle has his full name back, can Seth Rollins seriously get the frickin' out of his official name, please and thank you? Your wife divorced you and took your kid, and I don't want to see your bitch out. The promos leading into this match was ready to practically kill. This at a time when there's no match or celebrity. Also, at this point, WWE. As cool as it was to see Tyson Fury knock out Austin Theory, yay, he got his name back too. Prevented him from cashing in the Money in the Bank contract. Why couldn't Austin just run into the ring with a referee and cash in there? What possessed him to think that standing at the farthest edge of the barricade to cash in was the best idea? Also, Austin was so desperate to recreate the heist of the Century moment made by Seth Rollins in 2015 that he tried to cash in 2 pay-per-views in a row during the World Title match and failed both times. May want to consider doing this at a time when there's no match of celebrity. Also, at this point, WWE may have to consider a barbed wire steel cage match where you can only win by pin or submission with added security. Just when it seemed like Roman could actually get the job done without the need of interference, here comes yet another one. And victory due to outside interference is always a sin. What a shame. Conclusion, they give a fuck at the moment.
Dash in.
Enough of the commercials.
Match was not good at all. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't Santos Escobar. I'll tell you that right now. Escobar ran at Lashley to begin the match. Lashley hit a clothesline and worked over Escobar with some punches. He then landed a belly-to-belly suplex. Escobar got tossed across the ring. Lashley threw Escobar around, and that wound up with Lashley throwing Escobar over the top rope to the outside. A little preview of the Royal Rumble. We go to commercial break. We come back from break. Escobar landed a dive onto Lashley. Was on the outside. We get back in the ring with both guys. Escobar worked over Lashley's leg. Escobar went for a pin, but Lashley popped up. Escobar landed some double knees very sloppily in the corner. They did not work well together. Spot like that where Escobar does his running Meteora, that was even slightly botched. Escobar worked over Lashley in the corner and placed Lashley on the top rope. Lashley got mad and threw Escobar off the top. Lashley again sold his leg, hit a face buster, and all of a sudden, someone appeared at ringside in a lucha mask. Lashley, slightly distracted here, lifted Escobar high and went to chokeslam him. All of a sudden, another masked man appeared and attacked the Street Profits at ringside, who were standing there in Bobby Lashley's corner. Escobar ended up rolling up Lashley again because of this distraction.
Yeah.
Hooked the tights and won the match. Santos Escobar beats Bobby Lashley. Said this last week. The match on paper looked like a mismatch. Bobby Lashley's getting huge babyface reactions with this new faction of him and the Street Profits. Can't really beat him clean. Escobar's on a heel run. He just took out Rey Mysterio. Clearly, they're putting a lot of their eggs in his basket. He can't lose clean. Said this last week. Someone's losing here, and one guy is going to be overly protected in defeat. I thought it was going to be Santos. But they ended up giving Santos the victory over Bobby Lashley, and Bobby Lashley was the one being defeated and protected. Now, the men in the mask, they ended up being revealed tonight. We didn't get any lingering fucking weeks of who are they. We got Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo back on the main roster. I like it. Santos is going to be a vicious heel, especially on the road to WrestleMania. The heel heat, I'm telling you this right now, mark it down, bookmark it. The heel heat that Santos is going to get on his way to his building match at WrestleMania against Rey Mysterio. Building his match to WrestleMania with Rey Mysterio. It is going to work wonders for Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. Because at this point, now you got Rey and the old Legado. You got Rey and you got Joaquin and Cruz against Santos, Humberto, and Angel Garza. They needed a redo. Vince did not know and did not care what he did with Humberto and Angel Garza. Somehow, some way, they got and snuck down to NXT. They got put down on NXT. On NXT, they kind of rebuilt themselves and they got their mojo back and they started to really get that momentum going again. And now they're back on the main roster. Triple H is in charge. And he basically said, you know what? These guys are too good to be down there. Let's call them up. I'm going to fucking work. You see, I love it, man. You see what Vince didn't want, that Vince just threw away, and Triple H is actively trying to restore it. I love it. So Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo, Santos Escobar, the new Legado. Then we got Rey Mysterio when he comes back, Joaquin Wilde, Cruz del Toro. That'll be the LWO. So we got Legado and the LWO now feuding. And then on the way to WrestleMania, we're going to get Santos versus Rey Mysterio. And it's going to be a bang. It's a great movie. It's a great movie. Yes, Legado del Fantasma 2.0. Where's Carlito fit into all this? I don't know. Carlito may be the odd man out. I don't know what they do with Carlito. Carlito's Puerto Rican. Why is he in the LWO with Rey Mysterio, who's Mexican, Lucha Libre, and the other guys who are Lucha Libre? All these guys are Lucha Libre, but you got the one token Puerto Rican guy in the LWO. Carlito should be on his own. That doesn't mean he can't be friends with Rey Mysterio, but he should not be in the LWO. Logan Paul. He cut a promo backstage saying Escobar isn't in his league, while Owens looks like if Reddit was a person. I actually laughed at that, man. Have you guys ever been on Reddit? Have you guys ever been on the Squared Circle Reddit, man? You know, when you read and look at your computer screens, you can't really get a sense of smell. Every time I'm on Square Circle Reddit, man, the stench that comes emanating out of my computer just off the sheer virginity that dwells on Squared Circle Reddit is unbelievable. They hate everything and everyone over there. It's disgusting. It's worse than Twitter. You thought Twitter was bad. Go read Squared Circle. Awful. They got some beautiful things to say about me. Holy shit, man. Go Google Squared Circle JD from NY. You'll see all these people out there, man. Glorious. Just hating on me left and right, man. Unbelievable. Sexist. I'm a womanizer. I'm a racist. I'm fucking a bigot. Everything. You name it. You name it. It's on Squared Circle. Logan Paul said they were the only two receiving a temporary clout here. Michin to face Io Scott. There you go. Michin will face Io Scott for the Women's Championship in 2 weeks at New Year's Revolution Triple Threat to face Roman Reigns of the Royal Rumble. That will be LA night. Yeah. Randy Orton and AJ Styles. And the finals of the U.S. title number one contender tournament will be Kevin Owens and Santos Escobar. Butch, he was backstage. He was walking around and started an interview with whoever was there. I don't know. What's her name on SmackDown? Not Mackenzie Mitchell. She was fired. Who was on SmackDown? Who's the lady interviewer on SmackDown? Whoever she is. So he said it wasn't his night, and he brought the fight. Pretty Deadly appeared singing Christmas carols. Pretty Dead Lee was singing Christmas carols. Butch attacked them. Aldis and officials broke up the fight. Aldis told Butch that they do this in the ring. Aldis told Butch to find a partner and take them on in 2 weeks on SmackDown. I wonder if that's Sheamus. Is Sheamus back in 2 weeks on SmackDown? Or is... Now we've seen that before. I don't want to see that again. I mean, are we going to go Pretty Deadly versus Butch and Sheamus again? Or is this going to be Tyler Bate? I'd rather it be Tyler Bate. Call him up. I'd love to see it. Sign Tyler Bate to SmackDown. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne against Pretty Deadly. Boom. There you go. It's different. It's new. We haven't seen it before. It's probably going to end up being Sheamus. AJ Styles. He went one-on-one with Solo Sikoa in the main event here. I didn't really care about this. I mean, just tired of the SmackDown main events, including Solo Sikoa. I'm just tired of it. Boring. We need something more important in the main event, man. Solo Sikoa is not important. He isn't doing anything important right now. two brawled to start the match. Styles hit some chops. He ran into a back elbow from Solo. Styles dropkicked Solo's knee, took control. Styles kicked Solo to the outside. Styles landed a running knee and a big splash. We go to commercial break. Show came back. Solo back body drop Styles. These two also did not work well together. I don't know what it was. It might have been some ring rust on AJ. A little miscommunication on some parts. Back and Solo back body dropped Styles. Solo landed a series of punches and headbutts on Styles. Solo threw Styles into the second turnbuckle head first. Solo landed his running hip attack. He then went for a headbutt from the second rope. AJ moved. Styles hit a pair of forearms. Crowd's going crazy. And he landed a moonsault for a 2 count. Looked sloppy. Styles ran at Solo, but Sikoa hit a Samoan drop, which was botched. And they showed an instant replay of it on the botch. The only reason why they showed the instant replay is because AJ got some height on the Samoan drop. Solo went for a clothesline. Styles countered with a Pele kick. He then set up for the phenomenal forearm, which Solo countered into an attempt of the Samoan spike, which failed. Styles eventually hit the phenomenal forearm, and then out of nowhere, Roman Reigns comes in and causes the DQ. AJ wins by DQ. So after the match, we get Roman beating down AJ. Reigns lifted Styles to his shoulders. Styles got free. Styles took Reigns down with a kick. Styles went after Reigns, but Solo hit the ring and took down Styles. Jimmy's out there as well. He's putting the boots to AJ 3-on-1. Randy Orton's music hit. He made his way to the ring. He went after Solo and went after Reigns. Orton beat on Reigns in the corner. Jimmy came out of nowhere, took down Orton. So it's 3-on-2. LA Knight, his music played, yeah, and he ran to the ring. Knight took down Jimmy and then went after Solo and Reigns. Now we're even 3-on-3. LA Knight tossed Jimmy into Orton, and Orton tossed Jimmy to the outside. It looked like he was going for the DDT, but he didn't. All three babyfaces stood tall in the ring as the Bloodline regrouped in the entryway, on the aisleway. Styles argued with LA Knight, Randy Orton. Styles punched LA Knight and went after Randy. LA Knight took Styles down. Orton and Knight brawled. Reigns held everybody back, and they looked on as the babyfaces were basically beating the shit out of each other. LA Knight, Randy Orton, and LA Knight, Randy Orton, and AJ Styles brawled as the show went off the air. Was it a terrible holiday show? No. Absolutely not. Was it dull in some parts? Did it feel taped? Absolutely. But Green Bay got 2 decent episodes of Smackdown that told some decent stories going into New Year's Revolution, and then obviously having major implications for the Royal Rumble. So I don't really mind that at all. It was nothing, oh my God, if you missed SmackDown, you didn't really miss much. It wasn't one of those shows where it's like, oh my God, I've got to go and watch SmackDown. No, it wasn't one of those SmackDowns. They moved shit along. They set up some big matches for New Year's Revolution. They set up Roman's match for the Royal Rumble. And we got an interesting interaction with Nick Aldis and Roman Reigns, and then Randy Orton and Nick Aldis. There's some things brewing on Friday night, man. So, all in all, they got some stuff working on Friday night. Good stuff. We're going to get into the Super Chats in just a second. I want to thank you guys once again for joining me here on the SmackDown post. Follow me on.
Well, it looked like that's enough. I might end the video. I made it long enough. That was enough. JD from New York also went through all the details on SmackDown. Gonna end the video. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I'll be back with more. Maybe I'll do an AEW collision tomorrow. I'm not sure. But thank you for watching. Until next time.